Most cars don't die because they're built poorly. They die because their owners kill them one bad habit at a time. If you've ever wondered why your buddy's car made it to 400,000 miles while yours was coughing at 120,000, then this video is for you. Today, we're breaking down 20 driving habits that'll keep your car alive for the long haul. And hey, if you love cars, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with the current mileage on your ride. Let's see who's driving the true high-mileage legends out there. Number 1. Get a move on. A lot of people think they need to idle their car for 10 minutes in the driveway. Wrong. Modern cars don't like that. Just start it, let it settle for 30 seconds, then start driving gently. You want the oil and transmission fluid to circulate under light load, not sit and cook while idling. Especially true for turbo cars where tolerances are tight. Number 2. Synthetic oil and intervals. Forget the myth of 3,000-mile oil changes. That was the 90s. Today, synthetic oil is king. Most modern cars are built to go 5,000 miles or more between changes, depending on the manufacturer's specs. Don't push it too far, but also don't let those quick lube places scare you into wasting money on changes you don't need. Oil is the lifeblood of your engine, and sticking to the right interval with the right synthetic keeps things running smoother, longer, and cheaper in the long run. Number 3. Transmission love. Engines get all the attention, but transmissions can be just as expensive when they die. Automatic, CVT, or dual clutch. They all need fluid changes. Don't fall for these sealed-for-life lines some dealers push. Nothing with moving parts lasts forever without fresh fluid, and some gearboxes need all the help they can get. Case in point, Ford's infamous 10-speed. Known for rough shifts and reliability issues, these transmissions need all the help they can get. Staying on top of fluid changes can mean the difference between smooth cruising and a wallet-draining rebuild. Number 4. Coolant and overheating prevention. Engines run hotter today thanks to turbocharging, variable valve timing, and tighter emissions controls. Old coolant breaks down, clogs passages, and corrodes aluminum blocks. Flush it on schedule or risk a blown head gasket. And trust me, you don't want that repair bill. Number 5. Electrical system health. Modern cars aren't just engines with wheels anymore, they're rolling computers. Everything from your heated seats to your steering, safety sensors, and even the engine itself depends on stable voltage. A weak battery doesn't just leave you stranded, it stresses the alternator and every module in the car. Stop and start systems are especially brutal since they cycle the battery constantly. And if you've got a BMW or Mercedes, you've probably already seen how sensitive they can be. One low voltage hiccup and suddenly half your dash lights up like a Christmas tree. Keep the terminals clean, test voltage, and replace the battery before it becomes a $1,000 electrical nightmare. Number 6. Brake care. Most drivers never think about brake fluid. But here's the deal. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it naturally absorbs moisture over time. That moisture lowers the boiling point, corrodes calipers, and eventually fries expensive ABS modules. On most daily drivers, every 2 to 3 years is the sweet spot. If you've got a performance car or you tow heavy loads often, you'll want to do it more. For hybrids and EVs that use regenerative braking most of the time, you can usually stretch it longer. But don't skip it altogether. And yes, shops love to push brake flush specials whether you need them or not, but this is one service that actually makes a difference when done on the right schedule. Number 7. Tire maintenance. This one's simple but ignored. Tire pressure. Underinflated tires burn more gas and wear unevenly. Overinflated tires wear the center down. Rotate your tires, check pressure monthly, and you'll save on fuel, suspension wear, and replacements. Number 8. Drive smooth. Look, we all love to hear those tires squeal every once in a while, but if you're treating every stoplight like it's the drag strip, you're cutting your car's life in half. Hard launches, panic stops, and bouncing off the rev limiter don't just burn gas. They chew up your engine, transmission, and suspension. The secret? Drive smooth most of the time. Accelerate gradually, brake predictably, and your car will thank you with years of extra life. Save the all-gas, no brakes moments for when it counts. Not pulling into Starbucks or racing home to watch The Bachelor. Number 9. Watch short trips. Engines hate short trips. Always have, but especially now. Every cold start dumps extra fuel into the cylinders, and if you don't drive long enough to let the engine fully warm up, that unburned fuel and moisture mix with your oil and start breaking it down. Modern direct injection engines are even more sensitive because carbon builds up faster when the engine never gets hot enough to burn it off. Exhaust systems suffer too. Moisture in the pipes and mufflers has no chance to evaporate, which means rust sets in quicker. Those cold start videos you watch all day on TikTok sound amazing, but they're also some of the toughest times on your engine if the car isn't driven afterward. Number 10. Respect the turbo. Turbocharged cars are everywhere now. Trucks, SUVs, even family sedans. And while they're stronger than they used to be, they're still spinning crazy fast and cooking hot after a drive. Shut the car off right away, and that heat bakes the oil in the turbo, killing the bearings early. The fix is simple. After a hard run, cruise easy for a minute, or let it idle before shutting down. Unless you want to be shopping for a new turbo way too soon. At Forced Induction TV, we love Boost. But if you want yours to last, give it a little cool down. Number 11. Filters matter. Filters are some of the cheapest parts on your car, but ignoring them gets expensive fast. A clogged air filter makes the engine work harder and kills fuel economy. A dirty fuel filter forces the fuel pump to strain until it burns out. Even your cabin filter matters. Let it clog up, and suddenly your blower motor is working overtime until it fails. Bottom line, if you don't replace your filters on schedule, you're not saving money. You're just setting yourself up to pay for a pump or motor somewhere else. Fresh filters are cheap insurance. Number 12. Suspension and alignment checks. When your alignment's off, you don't just wear out tires. You put stress on steering racks, bushings, and shocks. If your car pulls to one side or the steering wheel's crooked, get it fixed. Small tweaks equals big savings. Number 13. Rust prevention. Cars today resist rust better than ever, but salt, brine, and road grime still eat away at the undercarriage. Once rust takes hold, it doesn't just look ugly. It destroys brake lines, suspension arms, and even fuel tanks. The good news? Prevention is easy. Run your car through an underbody wash in the winter, especially if you live where they salt the roads. For long-term protection, products like fluid film, wax coatings, or even ceramic underbody sprays can add years to your car's life. It's a lot cheaper to keep rust out than to weld a car back together once it's set in. Number 14. Clean driving habits. How you stop the car matters just as much as how you drive it. Riding the brakes downhill overheats pads, warps rotors, and eventually cooks the fluid. Instead, use engine braking to take some load off. That's what lower gears are for. On automatics with manual mode, drop a gear when you're descending a long grade. It saves your brakes and gives you more control. When you're coming to a normal stop, brake progressively. Firm, steady pressure instead of jabbing at the pedal last second. That reduces wear, keeps ABS from kicking in unnecessarily, and gives the guy behind you more time to react. And for the people who coast in neutral thinking, they're saving gas? Hate to break it to you, but modern fuel injection already cuts fuel on deceleration. All you're saving is the wear on your shift lever. By the way, if you're finding these tips helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Forced Induction TV. Drop a comment with the highest mileage car you've ever owned. We want to see who's got the legends in this community. Number 15. Mind the load. Stop treating your compact car like a moving truck. Overloading destroys shocks, wheel bearings, and even cooling systems. And if you've slapped giant wheels and a roof box on your car, congrats, you just murdered your fuel mileage too. Number 16. EV battery care. For the electric and hybrid crowd, don't always charge to 100%, and don't let it sit at 0%. Keep it in the middle range whenever you can. Also, avoid baking your battery in extreme heat. EV batteries last 8 to 15 years on average when treated right, or half that when abused. Number 17. Timing awareness. Timing belts are a ticking clock. Most need replacing somewhere between 60 and 100,000 miles, depending on the manufacturer. Miss that window, and when it snaps, you're looking at bent valves, damaged pistons, and a repair bill that often costs more than the car's worth. Chains are better, but they're not invincible. They stretch over time. especially if oil changes are neglected. And when they do, your engine starts rattling like a tin can full of bolts. Replacing a belt or a chain isn't cheap. It can run anywhere from $800 to $2,000 depending on the car. But that's still a bargain compared to replacing the whole engine. Pay attention to the schedule, and don't gamble with one of the most critical parts of your motor. Number 18. Mind the leaks. That little oil spot on your driveway? It's not just a drip. It's your car crying for help. Different fluids leave different clues. Oil is usually dark brown or black, coolant is often green, orange, or pink and smells sweet. Transmission fluid is red or brown with a sharp odor, and power steering or brake fluid is typically clear to amber. Diehards will tell you what they taste like, but we're just recommending you learn the smells. And no, throwing a piece of cardboard under your car isn't a repair plan. Catch a leak early, and it's often a $50 hose or a $15 seal instead of a $5,000 engine or transmission replacement. Number 19. Don't ignore dash lights. Your dash lights aren't suggestions. They're warnings. A steady check engine light usually means a sensor or emissions issue. It's not great, but you can usually still drive to a shop without causing major damage. A flashing check engine light, on the other hand, is serious. It often means active misfires that can destroy your catalytic converter in minutes. Same goes for other lights. TPMS, ABS, hybrid system warnings. They might not strand you immediately, but they're your car's way of saying, "Fix me before this gets expensive." Ignore them, and that $100 sensor turns into a $2,000 repair faster than you think. Number 20. Clean is happy. A dirty car isn't just ugly. Dust clogs sensors, grime corrodes paint, and spilled drinks fry electronics. A clean car runs better, holds value longer, and is a place you actually enjoy driving. There you have it. Do these 20 things, and you'll be the one bragging about a car that just won't quit. Don't let your ride die young because of bad habits. And if you want more car tips, fails, and fun, subscribe to Forced Induction TV. We've got plenty more where this came from. Thanks for watching. Until next time.